Hello, and welcome to the Psychic Wave Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Sandishin. And on this episode, we had the wonderful Markie Medina. You know her best as the lead singer of the band Stormhouse, a favorite of mine. They've come on the podcast, and I've seen them play 5-6 times. But yeah, she's amazing. I had a great conversation with her. She really opened up a lot about her family, which was very interesting and funny at the same time. And I'm very thankful that I got the chance to have a longer conversation with Markie, because I usually just see her at shows, and you don't want to take up more than 5-10 minutes of somebody's time when they're playing a show, before or after. You got to let them do their thing. They've got 20 to 30 friends that are there to see them, and you just get a tiny piece of them. So I actually got, to spend a lot of time with Markie, about 2 hours in total. We had an hour conversation, but hung out about an hour after the podcast. And man, did we talk. And it was really eye-opening, and eye-opening in a good way. Markie does not disappoint. She's a kind, sweet, smart, passionate person who I'm really glad that I know. So thanks again to Markie for coming on the podcast. Besides being a very talented lead singer, she is also a hairdresser, hairstylist. I don't know how to say that, really. I don't know what the proper term is. I don't know if I'm being stupid and saying the wrong stuff, but hey, she does hair. That's all I know. And she's done hair for a lot of my friends, and it always comes out great. And she's got a cut and color deal going on right now, I believe. So you should hit her up on Instagram and see what she can do for you. Change your look. Are you going through a breakup? Change your hair. Are you in a long-term relationship and you want to spice things up? Change your hair. Anyway, thanks again for coming on the podcast. After the podcast, for those of you that don't know, the awesome video and stuff that you see during the podcast on the intro and outro of the YouTube videos and stuff on Instagram, that is all taken by Tess. And I'm very thankful that Tess can take the time out to come do that. So after the podcast, Markie left and she went to go play a show at the Redwood in Los Angeles. And when she left, Tess and I went to go get ramen at this place in Fullerton. I forget what it was called, but it was pretty good. And it was really nice, During this podcast, we have a tendency to, I have a tendency to drink a lot. And, it's mostly because I'm having a great time with these bands. And bands drink a lot, usually. Maybe just the bands that I know. But they drink a lot, and then the thing runs really late, and the next morning you end up feeling kind of tired. You didn't get enough sleep. But on this podcast, and on most recent podcasts too, because I've been taking better care of myself, we had a few beers, but that was it. Then we hung out. Then we went to go eat. Then I went to bed. And I knocked the fuck out hard. Don't get me wrong, it was still like 12:30, but that's pretty early for rock and roll time. But I don't know, I'm just saying I feel good. And although there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world right now, there's a lot of good shit going on too. And if you want to go to some of that good shit and share it with me, you can come to Beer Baptism, which is a show thrown by Narlord. I like how I was just talking about not drinking too much, and then I'm promoting a show called Beer Baptism. But anyway, it's put on by my friend Alec, a.k.a. Narlord, and it's going to be at DBA in Pomona. Live performances from Big Fun, Vagues, and Astronaut Samurais. 9 p.m., 21 plus. Come hang out. That's this Saturday, and that's where I'll be. During the day on Saturday, I have a podcast with Family Cash, which I'm super excited for. I threw a show that they played, and man, what a great band. What a great band. I'm super excited for that one. And, just trying to keep treading water. Keep my head above water and try to have a good time in this sticky, weird lake we're all in. There's a lot of weird creatures dwelling at the bottom that have been popping their heads up every once in a while. But there is also a lot of good down there, too. I don't know how that analogy or metaphor or whatever the fuck you want to call it makes any sense, but you know what the fuck I'm saying. So without further ado, enjoy this podcast with Markie Medina. Thank you so much. I want to say that jacket's homemade, but I feel like it's not.
It's not. I feel like it is, though, too.
It looks nice, though.
Thank you. I got it in Long Beach at this, flea market, and I paid $40 for it. And I remember being so mad.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, this is just cloth. And my friend was like, you're not going to find that anywhere. You need that.
I could stencil that for you in 2 seconds, and you could just spend that.
I am now, 8 years later, I'm wearing a $40 jacket.
Oh, really? You've had it that long?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, I've had it forever.
Man, I don't know if I've ever had a jacket that long. I always lose them.
Me too. Yeah, or they rip. Actually, this one's ripping, but I need to fix it. It's because I ripped out the shoulder pads. I'm not really about that life.
I have a few that used to have shoulder pads in them.
Oh, nice.
I mean, those are thrift store finds.
Yeah.
And I always wonder what happened, because somebody definitely got that in the 80s if it has shoulder pads, and they just now decided to throw it out.
Yeah.
I imagine a world where somebody's worn it once a week since the 80s, and they're like, you know what, this is finally out of style.
It's like a mom or dad just probably not going to fit into this again, or my kids aren't going to think this is cool. So
yeah. It's so funny because I'm over analytical of a lot of stuff, but when I see 80s movies where you've got the 80s businesswoman and she's in the suit and she's got the huge shoulders, right?
Yeah.
I think of it and I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense in the time. They if we're gonna really analyze it, it's as if they're more broad-shouldered, like men are doing the business thing. Mm-hmm. But then I look at it again and I'm like, it just makes their head look small, like they're dumb.
That's why I take out my shoulder pad.
Made your head look small? Yeah. It does.
Well, because I already have wide shoulders, I feel like. And then on top of that, I'm just like, fuck, this is I get the statement behind the shoulder pads. It was the feminist movement. Men and women are equal. I get it.
For
cool.
sure.
But it's just not attractive.
No. I think we're equal as we present ourselves.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's you don't gotta have shoulders. I don't have huge shoulders. Look at me.
Oh my God. My mom's going to be so pissed if she listens to this.
Your mom?
Yeah, she was about that movement.
Well, I mean, hey, now we don't have to wear shoulder pads.
True. I always tell her, Julie, it's not the 80s anymore. So.
Julie, it's not the 80s. You should make her a patch that says shoulder pad warrior, because or shoulder pad renegade.
Oh my God.
Paved the way.
She would either love it or hate it. It's no in between. Or she'll laugh and be like, haha, no.
She'll be like, why'd you waste your time on that? Drew from Psychic Wave said too.
Exactly. She probably would say something like that. Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited. You've got a show tonight.
I do, yeah.
For those listening, no, I already did an intro, so you already know this is Markie from Stormhouse.
Hi.
I mean, I haven't yet. You and I.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
When we're finished, I do an intro.
Gotcha.
An outro thing, but you don't need to know that.
Now I know.
Now you know. So you're playing at the Redwoods Bar?
Yes, at the Redwood Bar in downtown LA.
Have you been there before?
Yeah, I used to go there all the time, in my early 20s. Really? Yeah, it's like a pirate themed bar. It's super cute.
I love it. Is this why you're wearing your skull jacket?
No, unfortunately, I just dress like this.
It's great.
This is just every day.
It's great.
Attire.
I dig it for sure. Yeah, I had seen the Redwoods or Redwood Bar, and I think it's Bigfoot Lodge.
Oh yeah, that place is cool too.
Followed me the same day on Instagram, and I'm sure they unfollowed me the very next day because I didn't follow back. But I'm just saying, that's where I first noticed them, and they look like cool spots. I mean, I like the dark kind of gloomy,
loungy,
loungy looking stuff.
Yeah, they both have that vibe, definitely.
Why did you start going there?
Just bands, rockabilly bands that I used to listen to would play there, and
rockabilly, huh?
Yeah, I was heavily into that. Still kind of am, but not as much.
I don't know if I've seen any rockabilly shows.
If you go to one, then you've been to all of them.
Yeah, I feel bad.
I just threw fire out right now.
Well, I've said on other podcasts that, you know, the rockabilly image is like just a Halloween costume every day of like Grease, you know?
Oh, totally.
But, you know, who was I forgot who I was talking to about that, but they were like, no, but that's really bold, like to have that, you know, such a like structured image every day.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, well, my dad used to be an Elvis impersonator when I was a kid, so that was just like my like
really?
childhood. Yeah, we were always at car festivals.
On what
car
caliber?
Shows. My dad, he was performing like how I am every weekend.
Yeah.
He had a manager. He played out in Vegas. Linda
really?
Thompson, who was Elvis's ex-girlfriend, she had like her own reality TV show, right. And his manager got him like on that show because I guess like her kids threw her a birthday party with like a bunch of Elvis impersonators there, and he got selected to be one of them.
So your dad wasn't just a weirdo. Your dad was actually like doing it
legit.
Big time.
Yeah, he was making more money being an Elvis impersonator than at his day job.
That's fucking hilarious and also really cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just got into Elvis like recently.
That was great. Yeah.
I still need to watch those. There was like a good documentary that came out recently, right, about Elvis. I don't know. There was some documentary that came out just recently.
I'll have to check it out.
Like two different versions. Might have been like before Elvis and then Fat Elvis, but I'm not sure. Which Elvis was your dad?
Well, it's because my dad was always very specific. He's like, at first it was just like, okay, I only do 56 Elvis. That's it. He's like, I'm not trying to be.
That's the Elvis.
He's
Elvis.
Like, I'm not trying to compete with like all of the 70s jumpsuit Elvises.
No.
But then he watched the 68 comeback special and he's like, okay, I'll bump it up to 68 comeback. So then he bumped it from like 56 to like late 60s, and then that was it. So, but he had like every outfit, like the gold suit, like the leather, suit, and he even like picked out some different costumes from like his films. So
it's so funny having, parents, because no, it's not funny having parents. It's funny. Sorry, I was on two different thoughts at the same time. It's funny having parents who are so passionate and specific about one certain thing, because I feel like the majority of people, especially in Orange County, have parents that are very generic. And like we talked, I think, on the last podcast that we did with Stormhouse, where like my dad he went to the fashion district to go get cloth for Gwen Stefani's like, outfits, and he would sew them and do all that stuff. Oh, and so it's funny having parents that are like so into a niche like area.
Yeah.
Like your dad's Elvis and my dad was like picking out glitter pink linens.
That is amazing.
And
it's
kind of nice. I think it helped me, and I'm sure it helped you, learn to like really hone your craft.
Oh, totally.
I mean, I'm just imagining your dad's closet is what I'm saying. Where,
oh my God.
I feel like that thing was pristine.
Dude.
A section for belts, a section for sunglasses.
He had like a double closet. It was like there was like a small section of like his work clothes or like his normal clothes, and the rest was just like costumes. And then where shoes should be, like at the bottom, he had like a huge box of like teddy bears that he would like throw out to the audience, like.
Teddy bears?
And then Teddy Bear. Well, because the song Teddy Bear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, what am I missing here?
Why teddy bears? Yeah. And then in his bathroom, he had this like mannequin head that he would like place his Elvis wig on.
Oh my
gosh. Because he got tired of like dyeing his hair. He was overly obsessive. Like he would dye his hair blue black once a week with box dye. Now I know as a hairstylist that's horrible for your hair because of all the ammonia in it. But I felt like he might have started losing hair. So he decided to go to like switch the wigs after that. So
yeah.
Oh, and he also would throw out scarves. He had a box of scarves that he would like, because Elvis would like wipe down his face and then throw it out to the crowd. So
oh my God.
It was a cool experience to watch him and like, perfect his craft. Mm-hmm. But it was also very odd to watch old women like throwing themselves at him because of that. Like I was like 11 when this was going on, so I was just like really just grossed out. But
it's
I mean, now I get
many
it.
Reasons. I mean,
but
now I get
at the time I was like, what the fuck? Like,
They're like, this is my dad. This is
Yeah.
Were your parents together, or are they still together?
No, they divorced when I was like 6 months old. So.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
your dad had free range basically to be
totally.
Elvis and
Still,
be the.
yeah.
Oh, still, huh?
Still is. Still
It's
holding
out on
it
the prowl?
down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just wants
I could
to be a free bird.
I could imagine like seeing your dad do this at 11 and see all these women throw themselves at him and be like, Dad, this isn't cool. Like,
oh
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Did you talk to him about it? Like ever? Like, did you voice concern about how strange it was?
Right when it happened, I was like, why is she doing that? And he's like, well, sweetie, like she's my number one fan. Like, and she, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't know her. And mind you,
God, I gotta use that on test someday.
And then he's like, and plus she brought me a glass of water, so I can't be mean. And like, mind you, like this lady was like maybe shorter than, like she was tiny, but like, you know, heavy set, like just screaming and yelling like it's the fucking like 50s all over again, except it's my dad up there. And it bothered. I just became like very overly protective. Like after that, I was like, get away from him. He's my dad.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, everyone, like, it's funny because he would, this specifically happened at the Azteca Lounge in downtown Garden Grove. It's like this Elvis-themed, like, Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Every January. No, I'm not joking. Like, we should go there.
Awesome.
Let's go. I want to go for my birthday this year because every January and every August, for the whole month, every Friday of that month, they block off the entire street. They have this huge car show, and they have different Elvis impersonators perform. And my dad was one of the rotating Elvis impersonators that they would have.
What month is your birthday?
August.
Oh, okay. So, it lines up for you. Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, but it was funny because I had my birthday there like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and everyone, like, he was dressed normal, and he has gray hair, like full head of gray hair, and everyone still recognized him, and they were like, Vince. My dad's name's Mark, but his stage name was Vince Rivers.
Oh,
so everyone was like, Vince, when are you making a comeback? When are you coming back? Like, he totally stole my birthday thunder. Like, everyone.
Is your dad tall?
Like, yeah. Yeah, he's
and super handsome, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Wow. The whole package.
And he's searching for Bigfoot now. So.
Oh my God.
There's that.
Wait.
He's stealing my thunder again. I'm like, totally.
No, this is great. This is. I say it pretty much on every podcast because every podcast of mine derails, but the best podcasts that I've ever had personally, and then what listeners have told me, are the ones where we just hear about whatever the person they're interested in has to say.
Oh my gosh.
Like, because somebody's going to listen to this and know this whole backstory about you, and then like go to one of your shows and just be like, fuck yeah, that's her right there.
Is your dad really searching for Bigfoot?
Yeah, no, but it's like it adds to. I think the podcast adds to people's, or it lets their personality shine, and really, like, what do you want to attract people more than that? I mean, probably as a musician, your music, but but I mean, you know, if people show up because they like you as a person and they heard you talk for an hour, at least they're showing up.
True.
And then they're probably going to be like, damn, she can play music too. So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean, I love your shows. I've been to like a bunch, so I'm not downplaying that, but it's fun just getting into silly conversations.
Totally, yeah.
But I cannot pass up the Bigfoot thing. What the fuck is up with the Bigfoot thing?
Dude, I don't know.
I mean, is this a joke?
No, I'm like serious. Like, if you find my dad, Markie Medina, on Facebook, you will see that his cover photo is of Bigfoot, and then his profile picture is of him, like, in the woods somewhere, and like he has this whole photo album, like, for Bigfoot.
Point out something that's super coincidental.
Uh-oh.
And by the way, I want to say that coincidental is the right word and not ironic. That upsets me a lot. But your dad is somebody that dresses up as somebody he's not. And he's searching for, most likely, somebody that dressed up as something they're not. Bigfoot.
I never.
Have you thought about this at all? Because
no, but I'm not telling him that either. Because that's one of the reasons why he quit Elvis impersonating, was because he was like, well, I'm tired of living behind someone else's shadow.
And he's just looking for probably a guy in a suit. Okay.
Like, it's either like, I hear from people like either, oh my God, that's so cool. Are you serious? Like, is he really doing this? Like, stoked for it. Or it's like, he knows it's not real, right? Like, Bigfoot's not a thing. Like, it's like one way or another. It's funny. But he believes. So he actually invited my boyfriend and I out on like a camping trip to go hunting for Bigfoot. No, you're fine. I'm used to this.
Also, just if I could interject, if any one of my friends fucking was so serious about this and told me that I was invited to go hunt Bigfoot, I would be like, there is no way I'm not going to this. Is that what you guys said?
I said no. And then my boyfriend, like, as soon as I said no, my boyfriend was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Like,
yeah, who doesn't want to go camping? I mean, at least just camping.
No, I love camping. Yeah. No, I'm actually going in a few weeks. But yeah, like, because my dad, he's just very intense. He told me, like, flat out, he was like, Markie Ann, if you can't keep up on this hunt, we will leave you behind. So
wait.
Automatically, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going. Like, because they're both like 6 feet tall and like, you know, athletic.
Tall.
He's fucking tall. They're the like
Julian.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, are you preparing with crossbows? Like, what is
Dude.
How is this not just camping and hiking?
He has equipment. No, I've seen so my dad also, he works at a warehouse and he has his like own little like rented like space where he keeps he's also trying to do like music journalism on top of that. So
that's awesome.
He has like a bunch of like video cameras. Let's push him
more towards that. But okay.
So he has a bunch of cameras, microphones, like the whole thing. But he also has like racks where he keeps like all of like his equipment. It's just like in heavy duty like gear. I don't know what the fuck is in there.
What does it do?
I don't know. I don't ask because it turns into this whole thing with him. And like, but he also has a whiteboard on like his like game plan on like how to find Elvis wherever he goes. I don't know.
Wait, you just said how to find Elvis wherever he goes. It's interchangeable.
Bigfoot. Sasquatch.
Honest question. Is he losing his mind? Do you think?
No, I don't think so. He's just always been a dreamer.
He's just obsessive, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So when my dad, like when he gets into hobbies, he really gets into them.
That's fine.
Like before, so after Elvis, he got into like doing like
coke,
war.
Sorry.
No, I've actually never asked him if he tried that.
Okay.
I should. I know he's tried acid.
That's why he's looking for Bigfoot right now.
Probably, yeah.
But war like
war reenactment, like yeah. So he got heavily into that.
Your dad is an interesting guy.
Oh yeah, he's the coolest. Wow. The last interview I had, he's probably gonna watch this whole thing.
Really?
But he was like so upset. Don't be mad. He was so upset because I talked about my mom in the last interview, and he's like, I taught you everything that you know. Why didn't you talk about me?
Did you?
Like,
what did you say about your mom last time?
Oh, well, because my mom, she used to be like, you know, an 80s like punk rocker and stuff. And so she like introduced me to like punk and like, you know, she's feminism as well. Right. And like, you know, so she's a huge influence with that. But my dad, like, he's taught me everything about like stage presence and how to like build from it, how to set up equipment on stage, how to make sure, like, because he would use a karaoke machine, so he would make sure, like, just make sure, let the karaoke guy, like, you have to be in this key, like, so you don't sound like shit.
Yeah.
So things like that, or even, like, you know, costumes and stuff, so.
Yeah, your dad taught you the forefront of probably what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Being the fronter of a band.
Yes.
So.
Pretty much,
but he got mad about your mom taking the glory on the last one.
You know, divorced parents and stuff.
Wow.
But they're very competitive with each other. It's funny. I laugh at it now. Before it would stress me out. But
so they're still in contact?
Kind of. Well, it's funny. I was just talking about this with my mom because my cousin's getting married tomorrow, and it's for my mom's side of the family. But my dad somehow got invited.
Okay.
Like, he's still pretty close with, like, my mom's side. And she was like, why didn't you tell me your dad's going? I'm like, I didn't think it's a big deal. He's always there.
Has your mom remarried or?
Yeah, she's remarried, and like
Okay.
my stepdad and my dad like totally get along.
Okay,
so
good.
everyone's cool.
Wow, that's really good.
They're just competitive with me.
Competitive with your love.
With my love.
Which is
yes.
understandable.
Yes. But I love them equally.
On air, I love them equally. After the podcast, she'll tell me
Hi,
which one she
Mom.
loves
Hi,
more.
Dad.
She said mom first before dad, by the way.
Shh.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just starting drama. Yeah, I mean, my dad, who I refer to as dad, he's been in my life since I was 1. He's my stepdad.
Okay.
But like everything I do is him. Every interest that I have of mine is like him.
That's awesome.
The sensitive side of me is probably my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But my biological father, it's so weird because I look so much like him, except he's slightly bigger than me. I'd say like 10% bigger than me. And, but like looks just like me. And when we laugh and when we like say things, it's like exactly the same. Wow. But I didn't really know anything of him, you know, and it's so strange that like, well, it's not strange, but it's interesting to me when biological fathers can have a good relationship with their kids after, you know, divorce or separation and things like that. Like I'm super thankful that you have that. It's crazy.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And
thank you. Yeah. It was rough. Like, trust me, I felt like during the Elvis now I think it's cool and I can appreciate it, the Elvis impersonating days. But at the time I felt like, you know, I was pushed to the side because like my dad was like booked.
Busy.
Like
yeah.
Friday nights, Saturday night gigs,
right.
Sundays. And like, you know, it got tiring. Like I didn't want to go to every gig and I like, shit.
How did you get split up between your parents?
So I was with my dad every other weekend, and I was with my mom full time.
Okay.
So, you know, but
that's the usual, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Like part-time
right.
custody, but yeah. So I felt neglected a bit, but
yeah,
you know, now I can look back and realize like, oh, like he was, and I appreciate it because he was doing what he loved at
right.
the time.
But still had time for you.
As a kid, I was like, God, Dad, like,
yeah,
just want to play and like hang out, like,
right.
play video games, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man, it's tough.
Did you see your dad a lot or no?
No, and see that's why it's like my biological father was just a child that should not have had a kid. You know what I mean? Like just
yeah. Were they young when they had you?
Yeah, my mom was 19 when I was
Okay.
born. My dad was 23 or something like that.
Okay.
But he was into drugs and just partying, and
yeah,
that's the thing that pissed me off is my dad was not busy.
Right.
He just wasn't capable of like having kids
just in a
around
different
him.
state of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wasn't like capable of it. So it's a strange situation, but I'm
well, I'm glad your stepdad.
he's
stepped
like
up
the best.
and yeah,
he's the best dude ever. But that's the funny thing is when you were talking, this is what triggered me. Not triggered me. I mean, triggered is such a weird word, but it triggered the thought.
Mm-hmm.
It triggered the thought about my dad's relationship with my stepdad. And as far as I know, they didn't really fight. It's just my stepdad was taking such good care of me and would not let anything bad happen to me.
Right.
That my biological father was too ashamed to even come by the house because he felt like he was just, you know, not doing anything right.
Right.
And
instead of stepping up and like.
Right. And so, you know, and I've talked to my stepdad about this and he said, yeah, but if this happened to me and your mom, because he has 2 more kids with my mom.
Right.
He said, if she was to not be with me and then be with somebody else, there's no way that somebody else could stop me from seeing my kids. Right. And so it's just this crazy whirlwind of like, people have strange dynamics. And so it's so, I'm not trying to harp on my parents. I'm trying to say that it's so great that your parents were able to at least be civil.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm thankful for that. They were like, they would bicker and stuff, and that was annoying. I'm like, all right, get over yourselves.
But even happily married couples bicker.
Totally,
so
yeah.
That's really not that bad.
Yeah.
But that's great. So you got the performance aspect of everything from your dad.
Yes.
And then you have
the artist side, I guess, like
from
my dad. Yeah.
From your dad. And what do you think you got from your mom?
Sass.
Sass.
I mean, I open my mouth. Like, I don't look like her, but once I start talking, they're like, oh, God, like, she belongs to Julie. Like, you know, but no, I think I got...
Mom's got a big personality.
Yes, very big personality. She's an acquired taste. And I love her
Most
for
women
that.
are.
But I feel like I got, you know, my strong personality from her. I don't take shit from anyone, or I try not to, at least.
It's good.
She's more, you know, cold-hearted, I guess. I am, which isn't a
Strong.
bad thing to me.
We'll just call it strong.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so and business savvy, you know, from her.
Yeah, you were saying your mom was part of like the shoulder pad movement.
Oh,
so
yeah. More like in the early 90s, though. But and I think that's one of the reasons why her and my dad didn't work out, is because my dad, you know, he's just, you know, I don't know the real reason why they didn't work out, but I would like to believe it's because, you know, he was just in this, like, artist mindset. And my mom, you know, she wanted to, like, focus, get a better job, you know, because she used to be an artist too. Like, she went to FITM for business marketing, you know, and so she was into fashion and punk, and then
Fashion Institute of Design.
Yes.
And what's the M?
Merchandise.
Yeah. It was so funny. Sorry.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
cutting you off, but
you're fine.
I went to a private school during high school.
Which one?
Fairmont.
Is that in
It's
Fairmont?
Brookhurst and La Palma in Anaheim.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But anyway.
I went to Catholic school when I was a kid. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I went to public school until high school.
Oh,
So
shit.
that-
Interesting.
I was the bad boy.
Woo!
Yeah.
Fun. Did you break a lot of rules?
Oh, yeah. I showed them ecstasy.
Oh, shit.
I did. And mostly pot and Percocets. But
nice.
so it's funny because everybody at that school, and I mean like everyone at that school, my graduating class of seniors was like less than 100 students.
Oh, wow.
And so everyone at that school was going to go to like Harvard or like some kind of crazy UC. Like they were really, really smart kids. I was not. But it was funny because I remember FITM came in to like present something.
Oh, okay.
In one of the classes during like career week, and all the kids were so fucking mean to that chick because they were like, we're not going to do fashion. We're going to be doing like advanced neuro stuff and
dicks. Oh my
they were
God.
so mean to her. So mean to her.
Shit.
And
who raised them?
I mean, absentee parents, like they're rich parents. They're not around to raise their kids. That's who raised them. But no, but mostly. But I feel so bad because, you know, it just seems like I'm not body shaming here. I'm just sending an example. But I feel like they could have sent somebody more fashion.
Oh,
strong.
I was like, what's coming?
Somebody more. The word I'm using, the F word that I'm using is fashionable. The F word that I'm thinking of is three letters.
It's not that bad. It makes sense. It's a fashion institute.
Yeah. What do you think I was going to say?
Like something mean, like they're ugly or something.
More attractive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fashionable.
Fashionable.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's a fashion institute. What were they wearing? Now I'm curious. Not that it matters, but
Okay, I think you missed the point. I was being rude. She was extremely obese. Like she was. They sent.
Oh, so it was that.
Yeah, I am being a dick. But like when you send like if you want them to sign up for the Fashion Institute, you send like a physically fit like the criteria for who the runway ready. We're gonna call it runway ready.
Okay.
Isn't that the goal if you're gonna study fashion? Is to get your clothes that you put
incorrect,
on.
sir.
No.
One of my so I'm just.
You don't have a mic test. Stop being part of this.
Incorrect. No, actually, one of my best friends, she went to FITM, and she is now specializing in plus size clothing. And she's actually, I mean, I'm not plus size, but, you know, she is now designing clothes for me when I perform. But, I mean, I feel like, you know, fashion, like, is...
No, I know. It's a wide array of, like, of stuff. But I'm just saying... like if you're going to be sending a representative to a high school class, like at least 10 years ago, like, don't you you try to hook them, whether or not, like, you don't have to be skinny to make a beautiful outfit.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, to hook these people, don't you just send, like,
no, I think
whoever,
think the freaking teacher or whoever was in charge that day should have freaking kept everyone in line.
Oh,
like,
no, they weren't like actually doing anything horrible to her, but they like after were making fun of her.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, and it was just nobody took her seriously on the basis of the fact that they were going to be studying stuff at like Harvard and
right.
not,
I think maybe it's just the whole mindset of just fashion. Like it could be like a possible like serious career.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah. I mean,
because a lot of people think like.
We didn't have any arts at my high school.
See, there it is. Because there's a lot of people that think like, oh, well, you're going to cosmetology school. Well, you must be dumb. Or there's, you know, that
must be your backup. Image. What did you fail at?
Yeah, you know exactly. I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like I'm just a creative person. And I feel like I'm painting every day. So yeah, I'm going to like go to Cosmo school. So
yeah, fashion and art, it's so subjective anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like whatever is in your taste.
Mm-hmm.
But I was only making a point of like the general population is still very cynical when it comes to fashion.
Totally.
And so especially with like
did she look put together at least?
Oh, she looked professional.
Oh, okay.
She was fine. It's just she like, wasn't model status, and people were like getting really pissed off like, oh, how is she? We're dumb high school kids.
Yeah,
that's all I was saying.
There it is.
And I felt we're dumb high school kids, but I felt very much at the time that like Fidham kind of threw her to the wolves because
she probably just started that job.
Maybe, yeah.
Like here,
go talk to these high school kids. But I felt like. She should have slapped one or two of the kids, like, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I would have, like,
and let me put it to you this way. The hottest girls at my high school, looking back now, are, like, 3s. Like, I went to a private school. Like, rich parents do not make beautiful kids. Rich parents don't make pretty kids. You want to be dating a girl that's, like, 3 generations from the ghetto. That girl is fucking fine. But, like, rich parents are not. I'm telling you. Rich parents don't make fine kids. They don't. My point is that these kids had nothing to like. They should not have been flaunting what they had either. They were nothing to write home about. But they were acting like she was horrible.
Yeah, their shit stink. That's pretty much what you're saying. Yeah. And it probably still stinks. Yeah. Up to this day. Maybe.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm assuming so. Because if they were assholes then they're probably still assholes now. Or people change. People change.
Yeah. I was very much more of an asshole in high school.
Oh, yeah. No, me too. Yeah.
You fight some girls for no reason?
No, I just hated high school and like I just looked mean, I guess. And like my friend actually who went to Fidham, she would tell me all the time like, "Oh my God, my sister is like terrified of you." And I'm like, I don't know her. Why?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. She just says that like you look scary. I'm like, well, she can say hi. Like I'm not mean. Like I just
quiet to people.
Came off that way because I hated it. I went to Sunny Hills in Fullerton.
Oh, okay.
So I fucking. Oh, you did. What year did you graduate?
2012.
Okay, you probably maybe I graduated 2008. So maybe I just missed you then. Yeah. Cool. Did you have Mr. Brown?
I did.
I love him.
He's my favorite teacher.
Me too. He asked one of my friends, he's like, "Oh, you're friends with Markie Medina? Is she in jail yet?"
Wow.
Yep.
What was
English?
Okay,
Brit Lit.
Why
novel.
would he say that?
I hated high school. I got bad grades. I did not want to go there. I felt like I didn't fit in, you know? I was
just angsty. You were angsty.
Really, yeah, I was like one of the only psychobilly girls there, and like everyone else was there was no subculture.
That yeah. Anybody of that image in high school, people always think is tough and mean, and that's what I would always think.
I don't know.
I had more of that in junior high. There were a few like psychobilly girls.
Oh, cool!
Like,
yeah,
at junior high, and they were always like tougher, usually like Latina, but
yeah,
I was friends with all of them, and it was
we don't bite.
It was you just don't be mean to them, and then they won't
Yeah.
fuck you up. Like, that's simple logic for like
I've
humans.
still never
right?
been in a fight though. Like I don't like.
Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
More
no
humans should be
desire
like
to.
that.
I
Oh,
mean, I
didn't-
can make
oh, I
people
desire.
cry.
Oh,
But I used to. I was
that's
that.
worse.
I was that girl. Yeah.
Psychological fighting.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when they would start to cry, would you be like, "Why the fuck you crying, little bitch?"
Oh yeah, the first guy I dated was in a band, and like he cheated on me with like one of like the groupies, and she like. I remember like I went to a show and she was there and she came up to me and she's like, "I'm sorry for what I did. I was just trying to comfort, so and so."
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Comfort him? You want to comfort him? Why don't you tell him to fucking like break up with me?" I forgot exactly what I said, but rumor has it everyone was like, "Dude, Markie, like you made her cry. Like you made so and so smoke weed again." I'm like,
Oh no. Yeah.
Maybe she shouldn't have fucked my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah. Maybe she shouldn't have stopped smoking weed. She just kept
Maybe,
going.
yeah.
Oh god.
That was an odd tangent.
No, but that's good. I mean, if you can fight with words, fight with words.
Yeah. I haven't done it in a long time, so.
I've never I didn't grow up with bands really. Like junior high and high school,
Yeah.
there were no bands, and the bands that there were shitty, like really bad. Like really bad.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I've lived next to Sunny Hills my whole life.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm
Okay.
friends with a lot of the Sunny Hills people.
Nice.
Or they might not say that, but I know them and they know me, and I've seen you throw up in your mom's planter. So we know each other. But my point is there was never any like good bands. We didn't get obsessed. You know what? In junior high I was obsessed with Audacity.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah.
And then I think going to private school just switched my focus.
Yeah.
I was just trying to keep up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Audacity.
My friend, one of my old friends, Thomas, he joined Audacity, like, I think our junior or senior year. I don't remember. But that, like, I started going to Audacity shows around that time, and then more burger shows, I guess, like in high school, and then so that was like our thing.
Is Thomas in Bud Overdose?
No, he's
Okay.
not. But my friend Kale is.
They're playing tonight at 10 minutes from now.
Woohoo!
9 o'clock. Yeah.
Break a leg.
And then the Bobby, their bassist, is coming on the podcast next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a cool dude. He works
Nice.
at Burger. But yeah, so I guess I'm wrong. Like there were bands going on. It's just I was out of the scene for a while because of the high school stuff.
Yeah, dude, it happens.
And that's like 2009 is when I started high school.
Oh, okay.
So
I was 19. Fuck, I'm old. Okay, so.
you're not that old. You can't be old or else I'm going to be old soon.
Yeah.
You're not old. You're old when your
Thank
body
you.
starts breaking down and you get diagnosed with cancer. Then you're old.
No, none of us will age ever. We're good.
Actually, do rock and rollers age?
Have you seen Keith Richards?
He still gets his dick sucked. That's what I'm
He's
saying.
ugh.
He's got
It's
like
probably
a
all, like,
5-year-old
wrinkly.
daughter.
But the way he looks. Like,
I just no, I couldn't do that.
I couldn't either. I would
Or
feel bad
unless
for
he did
anybody being-
witchcraft, like just on like his dick. So,
Imagine if he had a
like,
baby penis.
like, everything else is like.
When
Oh my god! I hope my parents don't watch that. Well, because everyone says like, oh, like he practiced like or he worships Satan, and that's why like the Stones like.
that's
Same with
stupid.
Bowie. It's ridiculous. But
I heard I forget who it was about, but it was one of the original originators. It was one of the originators of rock and roll or blues, and it was a black guy. And I wish I could remember his name, but it's a famous story where
Robert
they say
Johnson.
maybe Robert Johnson, and it's a story that he sold his soul.
Robert Johnson. Yeah.
At a crossroads or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why that story upsets me is because it's taking away from the truth, which is that he was just a talented musician who probably practiced every day.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of giving him the credit for being a great musician, they say that the only way he could be that good was to sell his soul.
But that's what makes it like so like mystical and just.
I mean,
like,
it makes it
yeah,
mystical,
more dreamy, yeah.
I think he was just a great musician. I don't think there
so
was any
too.
voodoo behind it at all.
Voodoo's fucking nuts. Like I was raised Catholic, so like I've
Me
just
too.
like known
Sort of.
fucking later on. Later in private school. Was it a Catholic school
it
or
wasn't.
just a private
It
school?
was non-secular, but
okay.
I said kind of because my grandparents are very Catholic.
Okay.
My mom wants to be Catholic, but she's married to my stepdad, who's very agnostic, and my mom's also not like. She follows his logic, and she can't refute what he says, so she's now like, wait.
Yeah.
But raised somewhat Catholic.
Okay, yeah. No, same here.
Until I decided I wasn't.
Yeah, it's just a business, really. If you oh shit.
It's just a business?
They just
What do you mean?
The Catholic Church.
Oh,
I mean, they've taken my Nana's money. I don't know how many times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like are you okay?
Yeah, that was just hilarious. It's just got stuff everywhere.
Yeah, like I mean, I went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic church. I was raised, in the Catholic church. But I think I was 14 when finally I realized, like, this is not like this is fake. This is just like man-made because at the very end of Mass, they like left the last 5 minutes and they handed out like, a piece of paper with like numbers on it. And it basically went over like stats like, oh, like last year we made, more than we did this year. And in order to get, to where we're at, like you need to donate blah, 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 like amount of money. And it's like, what the why are we here?
It's
I
really
thought that was
guilt-based.
against like, I thought, like Jesus didn't want that, like didn't want. I don't even fucking know.
Have you seen that video where it's the evangelical pastors talking about why they need to spend the money to buy a private jet?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll sum it up for you.
Okay.
So it's two guys like on the View type camera setup thing.
Yeah.
And it's two guys and they're talking about how they just bought a private plane and they're like, you know what? I got to tell you, people be mad at me because I bought this private plane. But when God's talking to me, do you think that if I was on a commercial airliner amongst a bunch of sinners that I could stand up and talk to God right there? I could not. They would throw me off. And that's why I need that private plane, because I was able to have a conversation with God.
Get the fuck out of
No,
here.
I gotta show it to you after this.
Yeah, you have to. That's
But he's basically saying that, like,
justifying.
God was like, yo, dude, you need that private jet so you and I could talk one-on-one, because these people are going to think you're nuts. When the funny thing is, I already think he's nuts. And, I mean, this, at its worst, I am upset at organized religion because it seems to take advantage of dumb people. And, my grandparents are very susceptible to that. Like, lots of my family members are. And I'm, it like saddens me. I'm like, guys, come on. Like, they're taking your money and they're making you feel bad all the time and scared. Is that how, like, God is
That's what
supposed to make you
religion,
feel?
Mr. Brown taught us, that religion is just based on fear.
What's wrong with my lip?
What is going on?
Who's Mr. Brown?
Well, apparently he thinks I'm in jail, so.
Oh.
I know. What class did I have? I took my novel class with him, so. All my cousins went to Sunny Hills and they all had him prior to me and they were all shitheads. So by the time I got there,
Got it.
he was like, "You're related."
Another Medina.
Yeah, no, they had different
Okay.
last names than me, but he's like, Adam Orozco is your cousin, Jessica Garrison is your cousin, and they were assholes to him, but whatever. I wasn't. I just got bad grades.
Yeah, I was assholes. I was an asshole to all my teachers, pretty much. No, the hot ones I was nice to.
I got an F and an O. I failed the class, but I was outstanding to have in the class because of my sarcasm, apparently.
They're like, she's funny as fuck, but she doesn't know how to study.
Thank you, sir.
See the really old guy with like hair coming out of his ears? Mr. Wolf?
No.
We had a Mr. Wolf who...
He's bald.
We had a Mr. Wolf who subbed for like Parks Junior High once.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't go to Sunny Hills. So,
oh, okay. Yeah.
So... But were you there during the time when that guy got caught up with like a bunch of weed and like a gun in his car or something?
Mr. MacArthur?
Mr. Abbott?
Was it Abbott? Was it Abbott? I thought that was Mr.
Hold on.
No.
Get
That's
on
Mr.
the mic real
McCarthy.
quick.
He's from...
Wait, no.
No, it was on the news.
Yeah.
It was on...
You have to like...
Was it Abbott?
It was Mr. Abbott and his crazy wife like planted drugs and a gun in his car.
I thought it was McCarthy.
But then this is the crazy part. She was cheating on Abbott with one of the other teachers from
So
Sunny Hills.
it was
So
McCarthy.
it might have been him. I don't remember his name.
I
though.
remember that day, actually.
Yeah, didn't they like come in his class and just like arrest him in front of all the kids?
Yeah, because we were trying to like smoke weed on lunch.
So you were
and we couldn't leave campus.
Oh.
And it, like Mr. McCarthy, I think it was McCarthy. I forget his fucking name, but he would hit on my mom and it would make me so mad. But he was from Inglewood. He was this Irish dude from Inglewood. And yeah.
Does that sound right? I haven't heard the name McCarthy. But yeah,
Is it
Sunny Hills
McCarthy?
has had some drama.
Yeah. But I remember that day and we were all paranoid because like we were trying to like, you know, get high on lunch and we couldn't leave campus. And it was just, we're like, fucking McCarthy, fucking shit up for us. But the news was there and everything. And we've had like bomb threats too, but it was just
the news
to get out of
doesn't show up
class.
with that.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah. And then what else happened? Yeah, that's it.
Well, we're at the end of this.
Oh.
It goes by
That
quick,
was
doesn't it?
Quick. Wow, okay.
So I want to give you this chance to tell us a band we should be listening to. And I'm going to tell you mine. It's Stormhouse. So you don't have to say it. But a band you should be listening to, or we should be listening to. And then what you have coming up, or what you want people to know.
Okay. Let's see. Who have I been obsessing with lately? Well, I'll just give a shout out to my friends, the Tissues. What is wrong with you?
I think I may be having a stroke.
No. See, that's what you get for saying like we're all
Everything
getting
that I've
old.
said?
Yeah, exactly. Everything. Yeah. My
Right.
dad's probably, he felt the energy.
The Tissues?
The Tissues, yeah. They're great. They're a post-punk band from LA.
They come up on my Spotify like every once in a while. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. They're like DIY, like to the max.
Yeah.
Like they released their album on their own and mastered it themselves, everything, artwork themselves.
I've got to talk to you about them after because I'm pretty sure like I'm obsessed with one of their songs.
Yeah.
And
they're so sweet.
Tess and I
like,
used to get really hammered to that song. That's on
yes.
the Tissues.
Yeah, no, they're
Cool.
great. And
For your issues.
upcoming tissues for your issues. Something upcoming with the band or just in
Just
general.
anything. What do you want people to know?
Okay, well,
That's
aside from Stormhouse, I am a hairstylist. It may not look like it right now, but
You look great.
Thank you. But right now, I have a cut and color promo for only $85. I'm located in Old Town Orange. And yeah,
Tess is
girl.
already interested.
Yeah, girl.
You got one client already.
First time clients only. So,
Okay.
just to come in. And Stormhouse, we're working on our EP right now.
Right.
It just got mastered, and I'm hoping
wow.
that we can
That
have it
stage.
released by August.
Great.
So, and pretty much, yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I really
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having
Yeah,
me.
of
This
course.
was fun.
Thank you. All right, that just about does it for this episode of the Psychic Wave podcast. Thanks again to Markie Medina for coming on and chatting with me. My life is that much more full now that I've had a longer conversation with Markie. And I really appreciate her taking the time out of her busy schedule to come and just talk and drink some beers. That's really all this is, guys. But she had a show later that night, and I'm honestly very thankful that she was able to squeeze me into her busy schedule. So thanks again to Markie. If you want to follow the Psychic Wave podcast on Instagram, guess what? It's at the Psychic Wave podcast. Pretty simple. Fucking do it, please. Also, if you want to follow my personal account, it's at Andrew Sanishyn. Sanishyn is spelled Sanyshyn. Shout out to Tess for taking very cool video on a lot of the podcasts recently. And what else? Be sure to check out the Family Cash podcast. That'll probably be up either Sunday or Monday. And come out to the show at DBA in Pomona on Saturday. You'll see me there supporting Big Fun, Vagues, Astronaut Samurais, and of course Narlord. It's his little baby show that he's throwing. So yeah, I love you all. Have a great day.